Here we are, because absolutely no one demanded it. Another unboxing. This is the Zweihander Fantasy Horror RPG Starter Kit. Zweihander, my understanding is German, and it stands for two-handed sword, like the one on the cover there. Yeah, so let's start. Alright, so it's a cool box. It's pretty heavy. There is a player's guide in here. There's two player's guides in here. Alright, that's a bit weird, but okay, I'll go with it. Player's guide, we're going to need one of those. I assume they're both the same. Alright, let's have a look. So oh, that's nice. Nice art, like hand-drawn, penciled sort of art. Alright, welcome to Zweihander, Morally Grey World, fantasy horror gaming. Now, from what I know of this game, it's based on the old Warhammer role-playing game from back in the 80s and 90s. I know there's a new version of the Warhammer game, but I'm not sure if this is sort of anything like it. I'm assuming they've changed a fair few things through playtesting and, you know, various other things. But it says it's a morally grey world, cooperative storytelling game set in a medieval fantasy world, place of gallows, humour, intrigue and mystery, supernatural horror, vendettas meted out with black powder, iron and sorcery. Alright, inspired by Berserk, Black Death, Brotherhood of Wolf, Castlevania, Mystery of the Dark Souls and Bloodborne series, Game of Thrones, blah blah blah, that sort of thing, The Witcher, and the historic 30 Years' War. Morally Grey World. This game magnifies the brutality, comeuppance and superstition of the dark fantasy genre. Furthermore, this isn't a game that rests upon the traditional axioms of good versus evil. It's one cast in many shades of grey between rare extremes of black and white. This is a world where the upright perish and the unjust lingers. Society stands on the edge of both existential and literal collapse. Order tends to prevail over outright chaos, but at the cost of bloody sacrifices. Okay, well, there you go. So it sounds pretty grim. So obviously a grimdark type setting. Alright, so corruption exists as something between a mimetic idea and actual enervating energy. It spreads through selfish or misguided decisions and exposure to supernatural phenomena. Corruption plays the long game, whispering into people's ears when they are vulnerable. I'm not going to read all this stuff because it'll just take me forever, but that's okay. So we'll go through this as we go. We're here playing the game, how gameplay works. Obviously got a GM there, what to expect. Oh, lots and lots of skills. Okay, uses 10-sided dice, percentile dice. All right, so you do a lot of percentile rolls. So I'm guessing the whole system is based around percentile stuff, but I don't know what the D6s are for. Oh, here we go. 6-sided dice, generally used for weapon damage. These are called fury dice, or sometimes chaos dice, depending on the context. You generate results from 1 to 6. Rolling high is good. And the 10-sided die used for initiative, and percentage dice used for, I guess, everything else. All right, yeah, sure. Yeah, skill test, D100, there we go. And these are the skills, as you can see, lots and lots of skills. And I'm sure we'll cover that a bit later. Alrighty, what have we got? These are all so it's got all the rules up front. That's pretty good. Dice matches are critical. Sometimes you roll D100, you end up with a dice match. Dice matches occur whenever you generate the same result on both the first number and on the tens die matches the units dice. So a 10 and a 1, a 20 and a 2, a 30 and a 3, a 40 and a 4. Critical success. Along with succeeding in your skill test, you also trigger other special effects tied to your actions in combat, spells, talents, and traits. Oh, yeah, and critical failures. Screwed up memorably. If you rolled 99. Flip to succeed. In exceptional cases, you'll flip to succeed the results. Roll your units and tens dice together, but don't designate which die is which. Instead, compare both potential outcomes and pick the better of the two results. Flip to fail. And do the same thing. So it's sort of like advantage and disadvantage, except you're just flipping the numbers around because it's using 2 D10s for 100, but for a percentage result. Assist dice. Ally can contribute assist die to you, so they can give you an extra die, which gives you a better chance of achieving the result. All right. Oh, you have fortune and misfortune points, which I assume will allow you to re-roll things. During a session, spend a fortune point to gain any one of these benefits. Immediately after you roll D100, re-roll to generate a better result. Immediately after anyone rolls a 1d6 chaos die or 1d6 fury die, treat the results as 6. During combat encounters, gain 1 action point to immediately use. Suggest a momentary edit to a situation for the player's advantage or the GM's disadvantage. Okay. So you can affect how the game is narrated and what's actually happening at the time. All right, nice. Creating player characters. And yeah, right. All right, so you roll a lot of stuff here. I guess you don't choose stuff, you just roll things up. Roll D100 to determine your profession. Generalist magical spells. I'm thinking this is probably like a shorter version, because this is like a basic starter set. This is like a shorter version of whatever's in the main rulebook. You've got skill ranks, and your primary attributes: agility, brawn, combat, fellowship, intelligence, perception, and willpower. Okay, a bit different from D&D, but not too radically different. Adjustment by profession, adjustment by upbringing, so you get some adjustments to your skills based on your upbringing and your professions, and you get bonuses based on your primary attributes and secondary attributes. Peril threshold, whatever that is. Damage threshold. Go back to that peril threshold. What is it? Peril threshold. Peril from mental horror and physical fatigue can harm your PC. Protects you from them. A measure of mental wherewithal and courage. PC begins at unhindered. Punch out sliding. Oh, so you've got condition trackers to look at your peril, your level of peril. So you're unhindered to start with, and after a couple of different ranks, you go incapacitated, body betrays, you gain 6 corruption, you cannot succeed in skill tests. Alright. Damage threshold, same sort of thing, conditions, and you have condition markers on your sheet. Alright. You've got fate points as well. To avoid injury and being slain or becoming incapacitated. Other uses include dispelling spells, ending spell-like effects, or recovering from combat conditions. Okay, a lot of rolling in here to determine things. All pretty randomised, so you don't have to worry about too much about selecting this and that, because there's probably too much to know. Too much stuff to look at. Human ancestral traits, you roll up those as well. Mixed bloodline, select a different ancestry to determine another ancestral trait outside the human's mixed bloodline. Natural selection, permanently change one primary attribute. Seventh sense, use your sense of smell to track others that always have succeeded survival tests, blah, blah, blah. So that's humans. The art's really good. It's very evocative. Awakened. You're one of the awakened, living statue sculpted in the image of another. Crafted from inanimate matter by the hands of a true artisan. You're a work of art before becoming to life. Okay. Living sculpture. Marble beauty. You can spend a fortune point to force a foe to resist using their awareness. Scarecrow. You can withdraw your brain from your body for a number of hours. Nice. All right. I'm going to withdraw my brain just for these few hours. I don't want to be in this game at all. I'm just going to be a statue. Aslan. Amphibious-like people. I guess these are like lizard folk. They got abilities like blending in, calculating, cut and run, hide of the ancients. Whenever unarmored, add +2 to your damage threshold, which I assume prevents damage. Razor claws. When you use bare-handed weapons, you gain both the punishing and vicious qualities. Nice. Dwarf. Chthonic, proud and parochial. Tend towards an intense yearning for unbridled perfection. Because of this, you're likely to great pains to prove your labour is worthwhile. Forever consumed by complex tasks, dwarves will let their beards grow to such lengths that they must tuck them into their belts. All right, fair enough. It sounds like a standard fantasy-type dwarves. Ironclad, ignore the encumbrance value of armour. Rune-marked glory. Whenever you suffer damage or peril from magic, spend a fortune point to ignore it completely. All right. Elves, the ageless ones. A word translated into the common tongue as elves, were created in the god's image. Standing in willful opposition to other ancestries, your people reside in the well of souls. Oh, okay. You've got immortal blessing. Immediately gain another fate point now and another at intermediate and advanced tiers. Lament of the ages. Whenever combat begins, select one foe. They reduce all damage they do to you by your FB, which is something. I don't know, I can't remember what it was now. Gnome. Notoriously cantankerous stone-skinned beings who live among the roots of trees. Alright. Solitary. Thieving stunties. Think ahead. Tinker-minded. Tunnel vision. Alright. Grendel. Saturnine people are of a dubious nature. Ones who straddle a line between being a cult of personality and a force of jackanapes. Like old Grendel, you were likely a hedonist par excellence, reveling in vices and rituals to forgotten gods. Okay. They look pretty cool. Like satyrs, but also sort of like tieflings a bit too, I suppose, but different. You can rear up. Whenever you deal damage with a melee weapon, you force that same foe to resist takedown. So basically you roll your D100 for each of these, and you'll get a specific ancestral trait. Which means there's going to be a fair bit of variety from one race to the next. Halflings, pastoral communities, blah, 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 blah. Precocious welfare, yeah, standard. All right. Chaos is a ladder. Whenever combat begins, you also gain the benefit of a surprise round. Field Warden, ignore the weak quality of all ranged weapons. Right. Ogres, born of sturdy stock, with a gravitation towards big stories and big experiences. Tend to attract like-minded ancestries who also value these things. Yeah, fair enough. Well, good. Broad-bellied. You entirely ignore the effects of overage unless the value is in excess of 2 times your initiative or movement. Gut plate. Whenever unarmed, add +2 to your damage threshold. Mighty Thews. You're able to wield any two-handed melee weapon with one hand. Sweet. Ciabra. Thick and coldly neutral, the Ciabra. Oh, look, I pronounced it correctly. Ciabra. Ciabra. A wanderer is never staying in one place for too long. Your culture is centered around the worship of a revered ancestor, carefully preserved and kept safe by sacred warriors of your caravan. So they're a bit like gypsy wanderers. Yeah. But they have 3 fingers. Yeah, and they look like sort of like owl type things. Oh no, they wear masks. There you go. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Mask of Contempt. Oh, so all the different abilities are different masks. Mask of Sabotage, Mask of Shame, Mask of Guilt. Ubasti. There was once a place of golden oceans and sand called the Torchlands. Its oasis people worshipped a pantheon of animalian gods ruled by priest kings, but the priest kings desired nothing more than to be revered as deities themselves. So in their hubris, they created your ancestors, a clever feline-like people, to punish the gods called Ubasti. So they'd be like tabaxi. So they're feline humanoids. All right. Cat scratch fever. Every time it causes foe to bleed. Blah, 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 blah. Infected. Sabertooth. Sight beyond sight. Survival instincts. Thundercat. Like the TV series. The cartoon series. Okay, then you roll for social class. Physical appearance. So everything's random. Everything's basically rolled with dice. So you will come up with a completely randomized character. So even if you have one ancestry that's similar to the next player, they're going to have potentially different sort of abilities based on the random rolls. Season of Birth and Dooming. Oh yeah, the seer has guided you by a waking dream to foretell your dooming, a prognostication of your fate. So here we go. So dooming of summer, dooming of spring. Pride comes before a fall. Those you trust will kill you. Push for more and you will get it. Dooming of winter. Iron is weak, gold is strong. The gavel will ring twice. Oh, that's pretty cool, because when you go into adventure, if you know what your sort of fate is, you can role play with that as well. So when various things happen with adventures, if something comes up that's similar, you can say, oh my God, I'm about to die. Or maybe not. I don't know, that sort of thing. Different alignments, chaos alignment and order alignments, but that's different. Okay. So they're not like lawful evil, lawful good, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. They're like arrogance, carelessness, fanaticism, diplomacy, gentility, mystery, which is a bit open and a bit more open, and allows you to sort of role play a bit better than what your traditional alignment structure does. Corruption. You will make morally ambiguous choices. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, based on the outcome, the GM will give you a temporary value called corruption, usually a value between 1 and 9. Yeah, okay. Blah, blah, blah. What's this? Drawbacks. Have either undergone an accident or a circumstance that impacts their abilities called a drawback. Cabin fever. Whenever you're restrained in any way, flip to succeed skill test to escape. However, whenever you're trapped or confined in a tight space, you immediately suffer from fear. Falling sickness. Head mold shot. Hemiplegy. Whenever your turn starts in combat, make a resolve test. If you failed, you refresh 1 fewer AP. Missing eye, prosthetic foot. Okay, cool. Yeah, swill belly, weak lungs. That's cool. It's cool that it's sort of representative of the period, so everyone sort of, you know, at some point in their life has suffered some sort of hardship, whether it be through the outcome of a disease or, you know, some sort of injury they've had through work or their, you know, career, blah, 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 that sort of stuff. One unique memento. I like the fact that there is a huge range of things to allow you to create sort of like an interesting background for your character without having to think too much. I don't know. I assume the characters in this game probably die pretty easily, so maybe that's the reason why it's so easy to randomly roll up a background. Okay, trappings. Uses brass pennies, silver shillings, and gold crowns. Oh yeah, brass pennies. 12 brass pennies equals 1 silver shilling. 1 silver shilling equals 12 brass pennies. 1 gold coin equals 240 brass pennies. Yeah, okay, all right. So it's multiplied by 12 instead of 10. Oh no, 1 gold coin equals 20 silver shillings. All right, that's confusing. I suppose since like the period, it probably was pretty confusing, all the, you know, like British shillings and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. Haggling. Ooh, we can haggle. Reselling and trading services. There's a lot of stuff in here for a beginning kit. Medicines and poisons. Medicine details. Bottle of leeches used for bloodletting. Nice. Awesome. Spider venom. Tobacco. Gain plus 10 base chance to charm, intimidate, and rumor test for 1 hour. However, if you suffer from stress, fear, or terror within the next 24 hours, you must use tobacco again or else gain 3 additional corruption. Fair enough. Alrighty. Tobacco. It's what everyone needs to get you through the game. A bit of a smoke. Armour. Heaps of different armor. Munitions plate. That's heavy. It costs 88 gold coins. Full plate is 179 gold coins. All right, obviously that doesn't cost too much. So maybe a gold coin's obviously worth a lot. So I'd say that the standard thing that people use are probably like brass pennies and silver shillings and stuff. Oh yeah, each has a direct correlation to the 3 social classes. So the upper class use, aristocrat, here we go. Lowborns use brass penny. Burghers, which I assume in the middle class, use silver shillings. And gold crown is for aristocrats. All right. Yeah, cool. I've already looked at that. The armour. What's this? Melee. Oh, lots of different melee weapons. Oh, fast, finesse, lightweight. So they've got lots of qualities as well. I need to have a quick check at that. Oh, you've got gunpowder. So you've got pistols. All right. And any normal melee weapons and stuff as well. These are the qualities. Your fury dice damage explodes on faces 1 or 6 with this weapon. These weapons cannot be dodged, and you can attack with them while engaged with foes. That's with gunpowder weapons. Defensive, you can use this weapon to parry against melee weapons, add plus 10 to the base chance. Alright, what else have we got? Templates. Burst, cones and explosions. Combat and healing. Rounds and turns. Action points. During turn, everyone takes a set number of actions dictated by their reserve of action points. They begin the turn with 3 action points and refresh thereafter. Everyone can spend an action point to use various actions in combat, categorized in 5 ways. Movement actions, attack actions, perilous stunts, special actions, and reactions. Okay, so you get 3 action points and you can do any of those things. And once you've used them all up, that's it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Got lighting, obscurement, anatomy of a turn. I'm not going to read every single one of these things because this will take forever. This is only the first book. Movement actions: charge, get up, hustle, maneuver, run. Oh yes, so some of them take more action. So if you run, it takes 3 action points. If you take cover, it takes 1 action point. Maneuvering takes 2 action points. Maneuver 3 yards to get out of engage without provoking opportunity attacks. That's like a disengage. Run 3 times your movement rate, gain the benefits of low cover until the beginning of your turn. That's 3 action points. Yeah, fair enough. I like that. I like that action economy. That's pretty good. A bit like Pathfinder 2nd edition. Movement actions, odds and ends. Carrying someone, reducing movement by 3 yards. Okay. A yard is 3 feet for all those people who don't know. Melee attack, ranged attack. Yep, called shot. Chokehold. disarm, dirty tricks. There's lots of different... Oh, these are perilous stunts. Perilous stunts. I assume they're called perilous stunts because something can go wrong if you fail it. Oh, yeah, crit failure. So you suffer 2d10 plus 2 physical peril. Critical success. Your foe cannot resist. Right, perilous stunts, odds and ends. Oh, God, there's a lot of action. Special actions, reactions. Counter spells, opportunity attacks, channel power. Blah, blah, blah. A whole lot of stuff there. What else have we got? Guide to attacking. Yeah, suffering damage and bleeding. Yep, alright. So what happens here? In the following examples, we'll assume you suffering damage. These same principles apply to NPCs creatures. Whenever you suffer damage, compare it to your damage threshold. If damage is equal to or less than your damage threshold, nothing happens. If damage exceeds one or more damage threshold, the following happens. Exceeds base damage threshold, move one step down the damage condition track negatively. Oh, so if you get even so much as 1 point of damage, you go down on the track 1 damage condition. Exceeds 6 plus, move 2 steps. Exceeds 12 plus, 3 steps. 18 plus damage threshold, over your threshold, you're instantly slain. Oof. Whoa. But PCs can sacrifice a fate point to live. Alright, so now we're seeing where the fate points come in again. Alright. So yeah, a bit different from how stuff is done in other games, but there's more, I guess combat in this game is a lot deadlier. A lot deadlier. Pretty cool though. Grimdark games are always good because you're always on edge. You never know, when your characters are going to die. I remember I played Middle-earth role-playing and it was a bit of a game like that. I played for 10 minutes. This is when I was a kid. A friend of mine just got in Middle-earth role-playing. I spent like a week rolling up my character. Even drew up this massive picture of the entire party because everyone sort of did their characters over the week before the weekend. And so everyone was talking at school about it. And so I drew up this picture of all the different characters. And then in the first 10 minutes of the game, I got a critical hit in the first combat and I died. Of course, then, just being kids, we didn't know how to handle that. So I just had to sit there watching the rest of the game while the others played for a couple of hours. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I was traumatized by that. And I still am. Never play that game again. I love it, though. It was a good game. No, it wasn't. It's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, but I'm sure the game itself is good if you don't die in the first 10 minutes. And I didn't do anything. I think I just ran towards some dude and he gutted me and I bled out and that was it. See, that's how much I remember. Oh, fair income. That was a long time ago. Anyway, I'm still going through this. Let's go through this a bit quicker. It's going to take forever. Casting magic. Here we go. Magic's obviously different from... Oh, we got spell cards, so make it a bit easier for you. All right. Touching yourself. Spells listed with the word touch are considered a part of your casting and require no additional dice rolls. When touch spells are used in combat, that's the usual stuff. Yeah, we know that. We know that stuff. Oh, look, it's run out. That's it. It's finished. All right, okay. I didn't think that was going to happen. That was a bit unexpected. Skills in the back. So I reckon everything... Oh, God, let's get this stuff out. Oh, man, it's pretty heavy. There's a lot of stuff in there. All right, let's turn that on the side there. Let's have a look. What's this? Game Master's Secrets. This is the one that tells you everything you need to know as a Game Master. I'm not going to spend too much time going through here because I probably spent way too much time on the first book. Grim attitudes. Important to remind players that their PCs are not the arch magi, wizards and martial masters found in other games. Little poke at D&D. Not only is their mortality at stake, but so is their psyche. There is no good or evil, just a dangerous balancing act between ego and id that gnaws at the noble and deplorable alike. Don't make players gentle observers of the story. Instead, put them right into the thick of things and encourage them to make decisions that have lasting consequences. Good. That's the way it should be. That's exactly what it should be. Low fantasy and realism. Zweihander assumes that magic is a rarity. Nevertheless, adventurers live in a credible and mostly rational world. Think of the game as a canvas with mundane elements painted using a broad brush. Analogues to real-world histories like class warfare, crime, disease, and death are your colours. But use thin brushstrokes with the fantasy elements so the real issues feel more special. All right, fine. Handling skill tests. Yeah, we're going to go through pretty quickly. Motivations from NPCs. Social, blah, blah, blah. Interactions. Handling disease, the Black Death. 1d10 plus 1 day. So at the beginning of each day, PC must resist Black Death, otherwise they permanently lose -3% from all primary attributes. Should any reach a value of 0%, that PC is slain. Well, they permanently lose -6%. Okay. Handling chaos manifestations and divine retributions. Etherealists invoke chaos manifestations. Oh, so these are particular effects that can happen when you do particular things. Oh, chosen provoke divine retributions. Oh, so they've got their own tables for each of these dudes. All right. Handling corruption. 1 to 3 corruption. Desecrating a tomb or a dead person. They commit petty thievery or robbery. They read heretical or forbidden grimoires. They kill someone who was of a PC ancestry. 4 to 6 corruption. They suffer a serious injury. They assault someone innocent. 7 to 9 corruption. They desecrate a holy place. They suffer a grievous injury. They strike a bargain with a demon. They commit premeditated murder. Okay. End of session. Rolling corruption die. All right. Handling horror. You'll thrust the PCs into horrific situations and test their resolve. Every trial will have an acute effect on their minds, gradually eroding their ability to reason while at the same time desensitizing them to these exact situations. All right. Suffering from despair. Okay, what's the secrets of Swansea? Oh, this is the adventure. All right, well, I'm not going to go through and ruin this adventure because I'm not going to spoil it. So we'll go through this really quickly. Expanded best. Okay, so that was the adventure. Like I said, not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil it, just in case anyone wants to run it with their players. Expanded bestiary. This has got heaps of different monsters in it. Ooh, here we go. So you got all the stats at the top there. Got initiative, movement, damage threshold, peril threshold, defend size, risk factor. Then you've got some abilities. This one's got Cauldron of Bats. It's got swarming. Spirit Sight, automatically spot foes who are hidden or insubstantial. Swarm, never provoke opportunity attacks. Never cause damage or peril to your allies. Swift, weakness to fire. Okay, trappings, meat and bat wings. All right. Oh, so the trappings are the things you can get from them afterwards. So, for instance, if you kill the bats, you can get meat and bat wings. Nice. Bat wings, I'm assuming, it can be used with spells or making stuff, I'm guessing. Freebooter. So if you were to kill a freebooter, you get some crossbow bolts, cudgel, and light crossbow. That's nice. That's good. That's a good little touch. It sort of tells you what you can recover from the bodies. Fulci Patrician. A guildsman. Mastiff. Hermasti Spirit. Refugee Muse. Yep. Villager, Valewolf. The art is amazing. Like that art style is fantastic. Love it. It's very evocative of this style of grimdark sort of setting. Creature traits. Okay, so yeah, oh look, it's got all of the Swansea locations on some maps here, or some maps. We'll go past those quickly because we'll spoil it otherwise. That one looked really cool, but I'm not going to show it for long because it might spoil it. Grievous injuries. Oof, there's a lot of injuries here. Devastated foot. Hacked calf. Shell-shocked. So these you get when you do criticals and stuff like that. Oof. All right. Pierced sternum. Shattered orbit. Severed artery. Crushed toes. Butchered shank. Oh, wow. Okay, lots of room for notes. Okay, cool. Ooh, these are the character sheets. They talk about the classes. So they didn't put the classes really in the book, so they've got them here separately. And it's a blank character sheet, so you can basically create your character. There's your damage condition track from unharmed down to grievously wounded and slain. There's another track on the other side, unhindered, imperiled, all the way down to incapacitated. Your skills, primary attributes, difficulty ratings, encumbrance limits, cash, corruption tracker up here, peril threshold, initiative movement and your damage threshold. So it's nicely laid out anyway, nice and easy to use. Hey, look at that. So for that particular class, which is the Etherealist, it can be used to control magic gifted with a special sort of sight. You can detect where the seams of the ethereal veil are frayed, drawing the cords, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they use magic, obviously. And these are some of the things. So movement actions. They might be standard. They're all standard. Okay, they're all standard stuff. That's just to help your players know what's going on. and what they can do during the game. Barber surgeon. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Same sort of thing. Bounty hunter. I'll go through these pretty quickly. Bravo. Charlatan. Chosen. Gambler. Investigator. Jester. Alright. I suppose a bit like a bard, but a court jester. Okay. Pugilist. So hand-to-hand fighter. Reeve. Bandits, highwaymen, worst plague the pass between cities. That's Reeves and Knights of the World. Oh, so it's sort of like paladins, but without paladin stuff. Alright, no worries. Sellswords, so mercenaries. Alright. Smugglers. Okay, so there's a bunch of classes. Alright, cool. Oh, this is a very nice screen. It's got heaps of stuff on it. Okay, attack action, movement actions, combat conditions, difficulty ratings, skills. Cool. Ooh, this is the map that it mentioned earlier. Wow. Okay, that's big. That's a big map. That is the town of Swansea, and I'll try and flash all over it so you can see it. That's a really nicely drawn map. That's awesome. And on the other side, ooh, it's all labelled on the other side, which would probably be, I probably want to, I don't know, well, you've got one side unlabelled, one side labelled. I don't know. I think if you've got labels, you might as well just, if people are locals, you might as well just show it to them. You know, locals, they're PCs are locals in the town. You'd show them the whole map, wouldn't you? Because it's just a town, going from one bit to another, investigating mysteries. Oh, spell cards. So you can split these up. So they don't have the spells in the book, just on the cards. One weapon you touch, holy water, duration 3 hours, 3 plus WB hours. Warner Brothers hours. After successfully casting, the weapon is considered magical for purposes of dealing damage to foes unharmed by normal weapons. Crit success, anoint 3 weapons instead. Crit failure, whenever you channel power over the next 24 hours, add another 1d6 chaos die. Alright, so there's a bunch of these, obviously for every spell they've got in this starter kit, starter game. Hat trick, haunting, hard cells, that's handy, that's good for your players, I guess. Not so much for you, if you want to look up what the spells are. That's alright, that's okay, it's all good. It's sort of, oh look, you've got blank ones you can write your own spells on. There you go. We didn't have an extra, we didn't have enough money to put 3 extra spells on there, so we gave you blank ones. What the heck? Grievous injury cards. Oh, so these are all the grievous injuries shown on the back of that book. Oof. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go through all of those. Crushed toes. Gain 9 corruption. Okay. So you can carry those with you forever. Serious injuries. Oh, so there's different levels. So grievous and serious. These are moderate injuries. Like a pierced throat. Oof. That's a moderate injury. I hate to see what the bloody... Like the grim one must be like cutting your head straight off. I don't know. Serious injury cards, cleft skull, devastated foot, hacked calf. More moderate ones. Oh, these are the peril trackers. So you cut these out and you stick them on the side of your sheet so it actually covers the condition. Oh, that's how that works. All right, fair enough. Excellent. What's this? Clue cards. Oh, okay, we won't... Oh, these are obviously part of the adventure, so we won't linger too much on that. Misfortune points. So these are like tokens. I just popped that out. These are tokens that for fortune and misfortune that you can put in that bowl that I talked about at the start of the game, and players get. Oh, I'm knocking these things out everywhere, aren't I? All right, there we go. And this is oh, it's a poster. It's a poster of the box. Because, you know, you want to have a poster on your wall, don't you? No, you don't. I don't want a poster on my wall. But hell, the heck, they gave you one anyway, just in case you do want to put it on your wall. Because why not? Because why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to? There we go. That's not bad. Zweihander. There you go. So if you want to go running around in a very grimdark, Warhammery style session, doing stuff and things, and you know, catching diseases and hurting people, and or not, you know, or being nice, because of course that's what happens in grimdark settings. Everyone's nice. Then you should get this game. Here you go. Not bad. That's good. There's a lot of stuff in there. Like that's a weighty box. It's a weighty box. It is. There you go. Zweihander. Looks good.